So basically in today's class, we'll be discussing class level modifiers. So till now, in the many of the examples, we were using the different access level specifiers or class level modifiers. They are called with the different names. Access level modifiers or class level modifiers with the different names. So usually in case of your Java, the first and foremost thing what we do in while writing your Java program is we basically create a class. Okay, we start writing a class and we start specifying the data members and member function which are part of the class, correct? So whenever we create a class, it's our responsibility that we should specify some information about our class to a JVM. So whatever the information related to our class, we need to inform some information about our class to the JVM, such as, for example, we have created a class. Now the question is, we need to inform to the JVM that yes, I have created a class. Can I access my class outside the other classes? Now, for example, I have created a class. Now, for the created class, can I create an object for that class? Okay. So information something like this, whether the class can be accessed from anywhere or not. Okay. Object creation for that particular class is possible or not. Can we create a child class for that class or not? So information something like this, we need to specify the information about our class to the JVM. Okay. Now the question is, how do we specify this information to the JVM about our classes? By using various modifiers. We have various modifiers through which you can intimate the information of the classes what you are going to create to your JVM using various modifiers. Like public is one of the modifier and default is another modifier, protect is another modifier, and public. So these are the various modifiers through which you can specify the information of your class to your JVM. Now we need to look at like how does each modifier will work. Okay, so first let us take a public modifier. Let us see what is the meaning of the public, what information basically we are going to specify to our JVM, and how do we specify with a set of examples. So first let us go with a public modifier. So now basically if a variable or method can be declared as, suppose say usually will be writing the methods, will be declaring the variables. Suppose if the variable or a method declared as public, suppose if you use a public as a keyword whenever you declare a variable or a method, then that method or variable will be accessible within the class in which you have written the method or a class, or I can access that variable or method outside the class. Okay, outside the class. And similarly within the package, already we have discussed what exactly a package is. A package contains a set of classes and interfaces, right? A class basically contains a set of classes and interfaces which are related to one another. So that is the meaning of a package, correct? So or I can tell you that grouping related classes and interfaces into a single package, correct? So now if a variable or method is being declared as, say for example, public, so they can be accessed within the package and also they can be accessed outside the package. So I'll give a general analogy. For example, let me consider your student of say ISC, student of ISC. Suppose if I tag you as public under the student name, if I tag public to the ISC department, then for example, so you are being recognized within ISC department, you will be recognized, say for example, in the within the college, in other departments also you are recognized. If you go outside the college, also, since I have given as a public specifier, if you go outside also you will be recognized. Okay, it is something like this. See, within the department, within the college, outside the college, everywhere you are being recognized. Okay, so that's the meaning of the modifier public. Meaning of a public is everywhere the variables or methods which are declared as public, they are accessible within the class, outside the class, within the same package or outside the package. Everywhere that variable or modifier you can access. So let us take one simple example in order to understand this. In order to understand, I told you that if you declare a variable or method as public, they are accessible everywhere. So let us take a simple example. Say already I have some particular program here. For example, okay, so let me go here and let me see that particular program, what basically is there. Okay, so let me go here. So I have a simple program already written. Okay, already written for you. Okay, say I'll open this, open, say A1, say, for example, assume that under a package, pack 1, this is a simple class I have written. This is a simple class I have written. Name of my class is A1. And inside that, I have only one method, M1. And that method I have declared to be as public. Now, what did I tell you? Whenever I declare a method as public, then that method will be accessible inside the same class, or I can access that method outside that particular class, outside the package, or within the package. So that's what basically I told you. Suppose say this is one class what I have A1, which is having M1 method. Okay, which is having M1 method. Let me take another class. I want to check whether I can access a method defined in this particular A1 class in the another class I want to access. So for that reason, I have created another class. Say for example, okay, I have created B1 is another class. This is another class I have created. See, public class B1. So in which basically I am trying to access method of the previous one. Oh, so what was the previous class? A1 was a class. Under which package this was there? Under pack 1. A1 is the class. What's the method you have? A1. So now basically what I'll try to do is I'll try to create another class B1, in which I'll try to access method of A1 in B. So what I have done in B, so basically what I have done, so this also both belongs to the same package, class A1 and B both belongs to the same package. Okay, since I am trying to access the method present in A1, I am supposed to write an import statement like this, import. So which class you want to import? A1. A1 is part of which pack? That is package, pack 1. So I should write like this, import pack1 dot A1, because I'll be accessing the method which is part of your A1 class. So now what did I do? I created an reference for which one? The other class which is present, that is A class, that is A1 class, because this is what your A1 class, correct? So I have created an object of A1 class, that is the class that is present outside the class, and I'm trying to access the method that is present in the other class, So let us try to compile this. So we have now two different programs we have here. So in one program we have created a class A1. We have created a class A1 in which we have defined M1 method. So since they are part of the package, how do I compile it? Java C, say -d dot, okay. So what is the name of the class? Say A1 dot Java, okay. See, now successfully my first program has compiled successfully. What is your second class? We have another file. Where we have another class. Let us compile. Say Java C -d, okay. So dot, okay, what's the name of a class? B1 dot, say for example Java. Now this is separate class I have compiled separately. This is separate class B1 I have compiled separately. Both the classes have both are two different classes present in two different files. Now what I am trying to do is from B1 I am trying to access method present in A1. So now which file I need to compile, basically run the program B1. So how do I run? Okay, Java C. I need to use Java C. So since they are both are part of pack 2, so how do I compile pack 2 dot, okay, pack2 dot what? B1 I'm supposed to give. Okay, so pack2 dot B1. So why I'm getting error? Pack2 dot are only accessible if annotation processing explicitly required. So I've given Java C. I'm not supposed to give Java C when I'm executing. I'm supposed to use only Java. Okay, see, allow you're getting. So now what basically you can do is, if you go to your program, okay, so inside your A1, see for example inside your A1, okay, so what basically you're able to see, what you have written inside that method? Hello. So from B1 you're trying to access that particular method successfully. You're able to access it. Yes or no? Means what is the conclusion we can draw? Now I have two different files. One file in which I have written one class with a method. Another file I have written in another class. I'm trying to access the method present in the different class. Okay, since that particular method is being declared as public, so we'll be able to access anywhere. See, anywhere that is in two different classes, I'm able to access this. Correct? So this is one example, basically what I want to share. And similarly, basically what I want to do is, what I want to show you is, this is nothing but two different classes I have, so I'm able to access it. Now, another definition, what I told you is, a method or a variable declared as a public can be accessed within the class also, correct? They are accessed within the class also. So now let us see, even for that already I've written the program. Okay, open. Okay, so let me open this file. See now here, see, this is the same program. This is the same program, only one single program I have, but here I have two different classes. This is one class, this class name is A11, and this is another class, this is another class what I have. So in this particular class A1, both the classes are part of the same package, pack1 itself. Here I have declared a method as public. So the method which is being declared as public, I'll be able to access outside the class also. Outside this particular class, outside class A11 also, I'll be able to access. Okay, so in order to illustrate that, let us try to execute this particular program. Okay, so basically whatever the method I've declared here, since I've declared the method as public, I'll be able to access that method outside the class. Outside A11 also I'll be able to access. To illustrate that, what I've done is, I've created an object. I have created an object and I'm invoking this particular method present, which is part of your A11 class. So let us try to execute this. Okay, let us try to execute this. Say for example Java C, since it's containing a package statement, how do we compile? -d dot. Okay, so what's the name of the class? Say A11 dot Java. Okay, so successfully it's compiled. So now let us run this particular program. Okay, Java. So what should I run? Okay, tt1 dot. Okay, pack1. I should write pack. Okay, 1 dot tt1. Now here you may be worrying like why I have written ttt1, that is name of the main class, rather than this. Okay, so whenever we are going to say compile any program, or whenever we are going to save any program, in general we know that our Java class can have any number of classes. Whenever I write a Java program, my Java program can have any number of classes within that. So whenever I'm going to save such a Java program, I can save my Java program by giving any name. By giving any name, I can save my Java program. But when I run my Java program, I should run the .class file which is having the main method. That is the intention, or that is how basically you need to execute your program. See, once again, I am going to repeat. Okay, so our Java program can have any number of classes within it. Okay, suppose my Java program is having say five different classes within it. Yes, I can write a Java program and have 5 classes or 10 classes or 20 classes. So whenever I store that particular Java program, I can give any name to that Java program. I can give any name to that particular Java program. But whenever I am going to compile, basically whenever I am going to compile, or whenever basically I am going to execute, you have to execute the class which is having the main method. If you try to execute the class which is not having the main method, then you're going to get the error. So in this case, in this example, what I am trying to do is, so A11 is the class with which I said I could have also saved my Java program as ttt1.java. So no, whether you say with a11.java or ttt1.java doesn't make a difference. You can say with any name. But when you are executing, you have to execute the class that is containing the main method. So that is why basically I've used, in order to show you the difference, okay, I have saved my Java program using a11.java, but when I am running my program, I am running using the class which is having the main method, to show you the difference. Okay, so now basically in this example, I hope so you have understood that whenever we declare any method as or variable as a public, you can access that particular method or variable outside the class with the help of an example we have seen. Similarly, we can access that variable or a method within the same class. So that is basically what I have illustrated here. Okay, so now let us move to the next type of modifier. Let us move to the next type of modifier. Okay. Okay. So this is what the example which I showed. This is one different class. Okay, and this is a different class. Both are present in the two different packages. So this is part of say pack 1 and this is part of your pack 2, correct? So both the classes are from two different packages. Still we were able to, since the method was being declared as public, we were able to access the class declared as public outside the package also we were able to access. So coming to the next example is, suppose if the class, if the method is being declared as public, so that method will be able to access within the class also. That's what, to illustrate that here we are trying to create an object for that particular class where it is containing a method which is of type public, and we are trying to access that particular method from the other class. So basically what do we understand from this example is, if any method or variable is being declared as public, they can be accessed within the class, outside the class, within the package or outside the package. So that's what basically we have understood. So now let us try to understand, what if I'm going to remove the access specifier. Just let us see in these two examples itself. In these two examples, say whatever already I've opened that A1 and B1. Okay, it's already closed. Okay, I'll just open it. Okay, open A1. Now, for example, let me consider in this case, I'll remove this. Here, I'm going to remove this. Simply, it is now void. Okay, control S. Now, I have a class A1. Now, the method is not public. Let us see whether we are able to access this or not. Okay, so now I have, say, for example, B1. So now what I'm trying to do is, I'm trying to access the method which is part of your A1 class. So everything will remain same. Here I have removed this. Now let us save this, control S. Let us go here. Okay, control S. Okay, save this, control S. Stop here. Go here, execute your program. Okay, so Java C. Okay, -d. Okay, dot A1 dot Java. Okay, so next is your P1 program. So I need to compile Java C. Okay, -d dot say P1 dot say Java. Okay, see now what is the error you're getting whenever you're compiling? So it is telling that M1 method is not public in A1. See, observe carefully this error. M1 is not public in A1. In the earlier case, it did not get such a compilation error because the method in A1 class, you have declared it as public. So since it was public, you were able to access outside the package also, because A1 class is part of pack 1, B1 class is part of pack 2. So even though, since you have declared it as public, such members can be accessible within the class or outside the class, within the package, outside the package. So in the previous case, we were trying to access that particular method outside the package, we were able to access it. But in this particular case, since that public keyword I have removed for M1 method in A1 class, when I'm trying to compile my B1 class, see, I'm getting an error telling that M1 is not public in A1, can't be accessed from outside the package. Now, what is the conclusion basically I want to draw from this particular example is, okay, if you don't give any modifier as a public or private or protected, if I don't give any modifier for a method or a variable, then what is the default modifier it is going to take is, okay, if you don't specify any modifier, then it takes default modifier. In this case, it is taking the default modifier for M1 method. Okay, and what is the scope of your default modifier is, the scope of a default modifier is you can access such methods or variables which are having a default modifier within the class or within the package. So that's what basically you need to understand from this particular example. Okay, from this particular example, okay, see here. If anything is being specified, declared as public, we can access the class from anywhere within the same package or outside the package. That's what we have understood from the example. No modifier. If you don't specify any modifier, we cannot access the class within the same package. We can access within the same package, but not outside the same package. So since A1 is present under pack 1, B1 is present under pack 2, both the classes are two different classes. You are trying to access the method present in which is part of the other package. So that's the reason it's not allowing you to access. So that is what your no modifier. If you don't specify any modifier, the default modifier will be taken. So what is the scope of a default modifier? We can access the class within the same package. Within the same package we can access, but not outside the package. So that's what basically an example we have seen. Okay. So now we'll move on to the next one, that is a private modifier. We'll see that private modifier. Okay, if any method or variable declared as a private, then they cannot be accessed outside the class. They can be accessed within the same class. If a variable, or if we declare a variable or modifier as private, then those variables or modifier will be accessible within the same class and not outside the class or not outside the package, everything. So now, how do we illustrate this particular concept? So, okay, let me go for a simple example in order to illustrate this. Okay, let me go for our program. Okay, so already I've written a program. Okay, I'll just open it. D. See here, what I've done here, same program I've taken. I've declared a class D. Okay, I've declared a class D here. I made the method as private here. I told you that if I declare any method as private, then that method will be accessible within the same class. Within the same class means within this class only it should be accessible. It should not be. It should not allow me to access this method outside the class. So this is out. This is another class I'm trying to define a main method. So I want to check if I can have an access to M1 method from outside the class. So I created an object reference for that. I'm trying to invoke. So let us try to execute this. Okay, so let us try to execute this. Okay, Java C, since it is not having a package, generally I'm going to execute. Okay, d.java. See here, what is that error you're getting? What is that error you're getting when you're compiling? M1 as private access in D. So the M1 method, whatever you have declared as part of your class is being specified as private. So anything that is being declared as private or accessible within the same class. Okay, if you try to access those member outside the class or outside the package, then you basically gives you an error telling that it has a private access. You cannot, or it will not allow you to access if you try to access out from outside the class. Okay, so that is the basic example of your private class. So coming to the next type of modifier, what we have is nothing but your, okay, a protected modifier. So now let us see, basically this was an example I was showing. Since you have declared this method as private, you are not able to access outside the class. So the next type of modifier what we are supposed to discuss is a protected. So before we move on, how protected will operate, or where, when a variable or method is being declared as protected, where can I have an access to it, or where I can't have an access to it. So let us generally give a discussion, a general definition, like where you can apply for what type of, say for example, variables you can use private, or what type of methods you can use public or protected. So now, as of now, what we have done is we have discussed private modifiers, and we have discussed default modifier, that is no modifiers. And similarly, we have discussed public modifier. Three modifiers we have discussed. One is public. Second one is the default. Default is nothing but if you specify no modifier, then it becomes a default. And third one is a private. Now, where it is recommended, highly recommended, these modifiers are highly recommended to use. Okay, now usually what happens whenever we declare, basically whenever we define the class, our class will be having two important components. One is nothing but your data members, another one is a member functions. So you know that member functions are the one which provides the business logic, or which provides the services to the user. Whenever you develop an application, member functions are the one within which you are going to implement the business logic, or member functions are the one through which the services will be provided to the customers. So in such type of applications, it is usually recommended that the member function you can declare it as public. Okay, and coming to the next, data members, which is part of your class. Data members are, it's highly recommended to declare this particular data members as private, because data is the important thing which we need to give the highest level security inside the class, correct? So that is the reason it is highly recommended, or it is preferred to declare your data members as private. Okay, and next one is, where do you apply this default modifier? So default modifier, as you know that whenever something is not been given any modifier, those things can be accessed within the package. So within the package, suppose if I have 5 classes within the same package, suppose some data member is being declared as without using any modifier, then that member is accessible to all the classes which are part of the same package. Okay, so this is the basic recommendation, what basically we suggest. Coming to the third one is nothing but your protected modifier. So what is this particular protected modifier is, if a variable or method is declared as protected, then they can be accessed within the same package. Okay, anywhere within the same package you can access it anywhere, but not outside the package. Okay, so now what is that? If a variable or method is declared as protected, they can be accessed within the package anywhere, but outside the package only one place you can access, that is only in the child class. Outside the package, if you have created a child class, within that child class you can have an access to that particular protected member, which whatever you have declared. So in general, what is the accessibility of a protected? Protected means it is nothing but your default access specifier. Default means within the package, correct? Plus outside the package, only in the child class you can have an access to the protected member. So this is the access level what your protected member has. Now let us see again this with an example, the protected one. So I told you that you can, outside the package you can access, but only within the child class. So in order to illustrate this particular example, let us again go back to our example. Let us take, already again for this, already I have created an example. Just I'll open that particular example. Okay. Okay, so already I have this particular program to illustrate that. So I have pack 1. Under this, I have one particular class. I have written this particular modifier as protected, and simply I just printed that particular message as protected modifier. This is one class I have. So now I told you that like, okay, we can access this any member declared as protected outside the package, but only within the child class. So how is that? Just we'll have a look at another class within which I'm trying to access. See here. So what I'm trying to do, since I'm trying to access the member function, which is part of your that is D111 class. So now what did I do? Since I told you that outside the package, which in the child class and I can access. So what I have done, so I created one class E111. extends the other class which is part of the other file. So I've created a child class which extends that class. And what I'm trying to do here is, what I'm trying to do is I'm creating a parent reference who is the parent for this E11 class, that is D11 is a parent. So I'm creating the parent reference and holding the parent object. And here, what is this? This is nothing but your child reference holding the child object. Here I